Okay, it's a part two to our fun with State Farm. Right here, we used to have a nice railing going across, but that got taken out when this tree here lost two of its limbs and it came across and onto the roof. Again, State Farm said, "Nah, you did that. You pushed it over." Well, along with that destruction and waiting years for them to finally tell us that they weren't going to do anything, everything else has started to rot. And right here, these two branches right here fell down and went across and onto our porch roof. They did send a guy out twice, and he looked at the roof of the house, but he wouldn't look at the porch roof where the damage was. Whatever. Over here, we had electricity for our pavilion, and it came to the shed, fed that, and it came here to the house, where there's a nice hole in the side of the house, still to this day. See? I would take it off more, but it just gets worse, and they're not going to do anything for it now anyway. That huge pine tree you see way out there, that went down. 3 of our trees here went down. This stump right here came down, and that's what hit the line and came across the fence right here. And our shed is not looking too good from that either. Everything looks kind of ratty and stuff because, like I said, we waited years to find out that they're not going to do nothing. They kept stringing us along month after month. Then it started skipping to 6 months at a time. And then they finally said, "Nah, we ain't doing nothing. You apparently pushed over these trees." Yeah, that's what I did. I came out here and pushed over these trees. Now this is our old stuff. This is all the trees that I've cleaned up so far that have fallen inside the fence here. Our last video I made shows the storm as it was happening. A little dark, can't really see much. But so this is kind of mixed in why we feel the way we do, knowing that State Farm ain't gonna do nothing for us. This little stump here was a tree, and that came across the front porch roof and destroyed that. That big tree over there that's broken half came down, went across my 1980 Camaro. Again, they did not care. Said it was our fault for parking it there. That's great. So, like I showed in the first video, this is the tree that went down and took out the power lines. That left us without power for a few days. And then this is the one that was across the driveway. Which now, as you can see, is going to fall over and again go across the power lines, which are right there. So that'll be no power again for a while. Now this tree was pretty well rotted. we couldn't get anyone to take care of it. Called 3 tree services about 5 or 6 times over the past 2 years. Only one got back to us, and he wanted 35 grand to cut that down. Yeah, that's why it's still there. This is what's left of our garage. We lost tons of stuff. The pushing mowers, the chainsaws, weed whackers, our first Club Cadet, this tractor, a Husky, an MTL. Had a, we were trying to start up our own little cutting business. Got everything running. Went back to the house to get a sandwich. Next thing we know, there's some noise out here. We come out, we don't see nothing, but then all the smoke started pouring out of the garage. Somebody came down, caught the place on fire. Again, State Farm. I think they sent us a check for like maybe $1,000, which wouldn't even cover one of those push tractors. Yeah, push tractor, that's what it is now. You push it. It wouldn't even cover one of the tractors that we lost. We lost 4. We lost 6 or 7 pushing mowers, 3 weed whackers, 3 chainsaws. The list goes on forever. That was the tree that was in the front yard that came down. Now, this tree here was part of the first that they again said that I must have climbed up the tree and snapped it in half with my thumb. Yeah, okay. Now this past storm that I was showing in the first video, yeah, it took out my shed. Pushed it right off the bricks. It just knocked the whole damn thing over. Took off of my boat, pond. And then this is the fun that it did to the barn. Now, we called the State Farm about that the first time. And he said, oh well, it's part of maintenance. You got to get up there and fix it so that stuff don't happen. So I ain't got no way to get up there. And no way to fix that. You can't get someone to get a couple of screws and some washers and put in there? Nope, don't do that. It went on and on. And now here we are again. And I'm sure again they'll do nothing. I've only been with them for 40 years. They told us when we got the place that they covered all outside structures, sheds, and everything that's in them as well. But apparently they don't. So I think we're going to have to renegotiate what the hell I'm paying for, because you sure ain't covering nothing. So that's my State Farm insurance. Don't bother with them.